hair's all crazy.
Oh, yeah, we are back and we are live. You already know it's the OG Ptpod. And what do we do here? We bring you the best of the best. If you don't know them, you should know them. If you are a fan, we're going to get deep. We're going to have some conversations. And what? We're going to have fun, y'all. You already know how we do it.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to bring the man himself to the stage right now to tell you a little bit more about what we got going on. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing him right now. Oh, let's all of them. Sorry, we'll just bring him out on the stage and do it like that, and we'll let the ladies hang out. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kareem Muhammad, let's go. Yeah.
Yes.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, man. I just love your effervescent, vivacious energy. It's
Thank
definitely
you,
contagious, and I love
man.
it.
It's, you know what we say, man. It's all, it's not me, man. It's good energy. It's folks like you. It's the blessing of being able to talk to folks like you, man. This is confirmation I'm doing something right because I got Kareem talking to me. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. Let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? So, we got two lovely ladies over there that clearly everybody's staring at more than me, and I don't blame them. Okay, I ain't mad at them. But as people know, and if you don't know, Kareem, Mr. Muhammad is, the man. He's built TAF. He produces TAF. He does a million other things, but TAF is the Teachers Appreciation Foundation. And I'm just going to throw it over to you. Tell us a little bit more about that, if you would, and intro these two lovely ladies.
Definitely. It's something that's years in the making. We have TAB. We have 6 verticals, and one of the verticals of TAB is we do a pageant. We do a male and female pageant. So this year we teamed up with Miss Mexico Oklahoma Institute, which is the TAB Pageant Academy, teamed up with the Miss Mexico Oklahoma Institute to do the Educators Crown pageant. And we have a couple of dozen ladies involved. Everybody will be receiving scholarships, 4-hour scholarships. The winner of the pageant, however, will receive a 4-year scholarship from OCCC, 2-year scholarship that can carry over into a 4-year degree plan. It's a lot to unpack. I got 2 of the lovely ladies, Jessica and Eliana, on board. And I'm not going to talk too much. I'm not going to get too loquacious because the whole, purpose of this, I want the ladies to get the exposure and the feel, if you will, of their media attention and their media exposure. So I'm going to land my plane. But as I said, it's one of the verticals that TAB has, which is the TAB Pageant Academy. And we have partnered with the Miss Mexico Oklahoma Institute. So ladies, have the floor.
Hello.
I love it. Let's start out. I'm going to throw it to both of you ladies. This is Jessica. Jessica, what's your last name, if you want to share?
Pirtle. Jessica Pirtle.
Jessica Pirtle. And Aliana, hi, how are you?
How are you? My last name is Lawson, Aliana Lawson.
Awesome. Great. And both of you ladies are in this pageant?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Looking to get that college scholarship.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. My wife is an educator and going for even more education. So
Love it.
You smart people. That's all. I swing hammers and tell jokes. That's about all I can do. So, I'm impressed with all of y'all. So, who wants to go first? What I'd like to ask is, what does this mean to you? You're here, you're on a podcast, you're doing a thing that I bet a few months ago you had no clue you'd be a part of. And here you are. So whoever wants to go first, what does this mean to you and how did you get involved?
Well, I guess I'll go first. I had been following the Miss Mexico Institute for a couple of years now. They do amazing work. Jasmine, the director of the Miss Mexico Institute, she does a lot of amazing work. I followed both of their last pageants, and then I saw that they teamed up with TAF and we're now adding a Miss Oklahoma International and a Senora International, along with their Miss Mexico Oklahoma and Senora Azteca. And so I just jumped on it. I was like, yes, yes, yes. I love pageants. I've been doing pageants for a few years now, but this is a different kind of pageant. Education is very important to me. I am a special educator, or I was a special educator for a long time. Now I work at Bethany Children's Hospital, but I want to get my teaching certification. And so this can really push me towards that. So each one of us girls gets $4,000 for the next 4 years to MACU, and then the winner gets the full ride OCCC scholarship. So even if I don't receive the full ride, $4,000 for the next 4 years is huge and life-changing.
Yes.
And so it just, along with all of the leadership courses and the physical fitness classes that we've had, it is just a different kind of pageant, and it has been amazing.
Heck yeah. Aliana, tell us, how do you feel?
Well, this pageant was first introduced to me. I was actually at a park, and I met Kareem at a park. So I was part of a music video for something called the Thunderclap, and I had met Kareem at the park, and he came up to me, and the first thing he said was, "Do you do pageants?" And I was like, "Well, no." And he asked me, he's like, "Do you want to?" And I've always wanted to do something like that, and the opportunity kind of just came to me very swiftly, and I took it. As soon as I saw I took it, and I told him yes right there on the spot. I was like, yes, I would. And he got my information, and his team reached out to me, and we got that set up. And I also, the more I read up on it, I saw the OCCC scholarship, which really aligned with what I wanted to do, because I want to go to OCCC to knock out my undergrad, because I am a senior in high school at the moment. And so college is the next step for me. I want to become a speech pathologist. And so I want to do a lot of things, and OCCC is my first step. And seeing that aligned with that, I felt like it was kind of meant for me, And so I really jumped on it, and it's been great so far. The classes that we've taken, like Jessica has said, the wellness, fitness, and just we've had a lot of inspirational speakers, and it's inspired me to really expand my wings. And honestly, I've become way more confident. So, yes.
Heck yeah. I love the fact you guys, and I didn't even really realize, and it's something I think very important, is that just being part of this TAF experience raises your overall value, right? Because you're getting classes, you're learning things. It was very interesting. Both Jessica and Aliana, you were sharing these classes that you've taken. Now, look, I don't know. I don't know much about pageants. Okay, just what I mean. Pretty girls are in them. That's all I know, right? So, and you have to have talent, right, to be in them. So tell us, if you could, a little bit more about these classes, what they do, how they're helping you, and how they're enriching your lives, if you could.
Yeah. So, they have set up, and again, this is not something most pageant systems do. I've never seen this in a pageant system. I've done 8 or 9 pageants now. This is the first time I have seen this, which is just incredible. And they set up different speakers, women from across Oklahoma that are powerful and high up in what they do. And personally, I'm 27. I'm in the Senora International division. And just seeing that, it's some women are older than me, some women are close to my age, and just being able to see that and be like, you know what, I can push myself further. I can make things happen. They've brought in heads of nonprofits, which is something that I want to start. If I receive the title, that is going to be my platform, is starting a nonprofit to give free service, free parent advocacy services for families across Oklahoma, because that is a need and it is an expensive need. And so being able to give that for free like that, and it has this, the classes have inspired me. Like I can do that. I've been a little bit discouraged lately, but I'm like, look at these women. And some of these women started it when they were young. Some of these women, they're like, I went back to school at 40. I did this stuff at 40. And like, like just showing that it's not too late for me. It is not too late for me to do that stuff has been so inspirational.
Aliana?
Yes. Like Jessica was saying, the speakers are great. My personal favorite class is the fitness class. It is so fun. We have Jabori come in, and he is kind of like our fitness instructor, and we do different exercises, and it's definitely empowering because we do it as a group with the girls. There's about 12 of us that go to these workouts, and seeing everyone push themselves and exceed a limit that they didn't even know they had is just, it's honestly just joyous. Just like to see everyone get like, go Aliana, go Jessica. It's just, it's fun. It's funny to see us lift some weights.
Yeah.
We're not
They
pros.
were having to cheer me on pretty hard on a relay race that we did because I was dead last.
Hey, that's good. You know, I'm heavily involved in combat sports, from power slap to UFC, and we all agree ladies put on the best shows. I mean, y'all, like, there's a thing in men where it's like, yeah, we're gonna fight, but there's some self-preservation. I'm not trying to kill you. Y'all don't care. You know what I mean? If it's a woman against a woman in a cage, it's, if I have to murder her to win, that's what I'm gonna do. So you guys put on great shows. When it's a combat, you know, situation. So absolutely, I bet that physical training is fun. And I also love the fact, Jessica, you talked about having other women in and not feeling like it's too late. I know a lot of women getting their master's degrees in their 40s. You know, and it's never too late to increase your value, your personal value, what you can do in your community, that kind of thing there. Let me ask, if you were to have to shut it down today, right, what would you say you've learned thus far to this point? What have you learned? What are you going to take away that you're going to have with you, would you say, for the rest of your life?
Again, just that I can do it. I can make things happen.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would say my takeaway is that to not make an excuse for myself. If I think I can't do it, I've already beaten myself. I can't do it. But if I think I can, then you bet. Yeah, I'm already on the way. I can do it. And so that's my biggest takeaway, is that I am my own empowerment. I'm not the victim. I am the power, and I can do it.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, guys. I mean, that's kind of the key. And I'll tell you, if there's something you hear from people in their late 30s, 40s, and even 50s, and on, a lot of times, the one thing they will tell you, and if you don't believe me, ask around, is I wish I didn't worry about other people. I wish I wasn't so worried about what other people thought of me, where I was trying to please other people and giving up my power. You know what I mean? Dimming my light so I could, you know, try to, I guess, fit into some groove. Because you realize at a certain point, doesn't really, you're going to, you know, be happy or unhappy either way. But don't let other people make that choice for you. And I think that's great. Tell me a little bit
Brother
about.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
Brother Mike, may I jump in right quick? Just to add to Aliana's point and to add to Jessica's point. They gave their subjectives about their experience with the classes. She gave the experience about the physical combat and the physical challenges that was definitely purposely done. Jessica gave her subjectives about the classroom aspect of it and what she learned, and, you know, building the self-confidence. That's the whole reason for why we put this together, structured it in that way, to build the endurance, if you will, with both physical and mental structure and growth. So it's very unique. It's a bit unprecedented on how we put all this together. But after this, you and I, Mike, we'll have another discussion on it. But I'm taking it all over the country. We're going to tour this pageant, and it's going to be something that's never been done. As far as I've seen, it's never been done before on the way that I'm about to do it. So I just want to throw that in. But thank you, ladies. You spoke on both ends of what you experienced, the classroom setting and the physical combat setting.
And I also, just while we're talking, y'all, I love the fact you have a pageant girl and a new girl who's never done a pageant before, and they're
Yeah.
both. I love you get two different viewpoints on an experience. I think that's
Mhm.
brilliant and beautiful. And look, y'all, I just want that. You know what I mean? Tell me how I get that. Let's go. You know what I
That's
mean?
the tab. That's the tab Super Bowl ring,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? Let's
And
go.
very special winner will receive that Super Bowl ring.
Where'd they get it?
So
Somebody that's not like AI. That's legit.
no, that's a real ring. Yeah, that's I had that ring custom made. That's why it's tab on the top. Yeah.
Look, y'all, you Kareem don't play. It's just that simple. Kareem don't play. It is good business and it is business, and I love that, man.
Thank you.
Y'all ladies are lucky. You don't even know. We're not gonna get into it now, but man, I can tell you this as you're on your journey. Probably about 75% of the people you deal with are all smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't show up. They don't do the work. Because sometimes somebody's got to take out the trash, like it or not. You know what I mean? Sometimes somebody's got to wipe down the table after dinner. And a lot of folks don't show up for that, and Kareem is the kind of guy that he'll have 10 people helping. And you're like, where did all the, what's going on? He's like, well, I said we were going to take care of it. We take care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants to build something better for young ladies and build something better for the pageant system. And look at what he's doing. He's enriching lives. Lives are better just for being a part, man. And that's huge. So I did want to ask you, ladies, for fun, kind of on that, if you want to reveal or share, this is a competition, and it's all good and it's all in love, but it is a competition, and you got to bring your best. So are there anything that you're planning on doing? Where do you feel like you're going to be the standout? What do you feel is your thing that the judges should be looking for? Or is there anything you're working on now that maybe you're like, man, I want to get this down because once I get this down, this is going to be the jam for me?
Mm-hmm. For me, I'm working on my walk and my spins, my turns. And that's just been something I've been working on for a while now. It's always been my weaker part of pageantry. Where I stand out a lot is interview and onstage question. That is what I'm good at. I'm very, very passionate. I'm very, very passionate. I already have my platform, and what I do, I've already started on my platform. Even though I haven't started the nonprofit, I already service families free of charge across Oklahoma. And it is something I'm knowledgeable about and something I am passionate about. And so I stand out in on stage question and interview.
Very cool. I'll just tell you real fast. My business is nonprofit, not on purpose, mind you. It is a for-profit business, but magically we don't. Anyway, I'm sorry. And now, Liana, what do you bring? What do you got for us?
Well, I think my best so far is definitely my walk. When it's going to be just our walk, I feel very confident in myself and walking.
You look good when you walk in your walk.
Thank you. I feel confident and I enjoy it a lot. What I'm working on is definitely the platform. If I were to win, I think that I would want to lean towards helping make a VOTEC, but for children, because did you know that Oklahoma is #1 in VOTECs in the country?
I did not.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so I want to expand that, but for little children. So we had a speaker come and talk about opening a VOTEC, but for starting at a young age, elementary level. And it really inspired me, and it really opened my eyes to wow, that was a great idea. And I totally was all over her about it. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And she talked about bringing let's say plumbing or something, right? Teaching little kids kind of where to turn the knob and kind of like that, so they have a basis of knowledge, because I'm 17 and I know nothing on any of that, and I think starting that foundation at a young age would be just phenomenal, really.
Absolutely. And man, that's so important as AI and having younger ladies here, us old folk, if you will, over 30 crowd. We talk a lot about AI. I mean,
well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Well, yeah. Are you not over 30? No. I mean, come on.
Actually, I'm 29. Thank you.
You are turning. My bad. My bad. Hey, but I just turned 30 yesterday. So for the 14th time. But let's not get into that. All right. Sorry. But no. You know, AI is taking over so quick. I work on the internet basically. And, you know, for marketing and promotion, it's like you wake up and today things are already, you know what I mean? What would have been 6 months to a year is already there, you know? And it's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, well, Grok just decided they animate stills now. Okay, well, now that's going to be in every promo. So I've got to figure out how to do that. But I've got to figure out how to do that right and how it works within. And those things are going so quickly, right?
Mhm.
So the idea of plumbing, that's going to be a need. You know, there are so many of these computer programming jobs and things that are just going away. I mean, I was talking to a friend yesterday. We do a finance show, and we were talking about how we're in the time of horses to cars, typewriters to computers. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Landlines to cell phones. We're in that time with the internet now where things are just changing. And the ability to be adaptable, learn quickly is key. And as things go that way, there's always the pendulum swing, right? And that pendulum swing is plumbing. You know what I mean? Is working on cars. And I think people, and then like what you're doing and what Kareem is doing, everything is so digital in AI, there's going to be such a big appetite for the real. You know what I mean? For real
Mhm.
people really talking that you could, you know, this isn't anything influenced by anything other than dumb people and our dumb ideas. But that's what it is. And I'd rather have, you know, kind of a messy real human than a perfect AI idea of a person. So what you ladies are doing is awesome. And we really appreciate that. So, Jessica, you're working on the walk and spin. Aliana,
Uh-huh.
you're working on the plan, and I like that. Let's have some fun right now, and let me throw some test questions at you. What do you say? All right,
Okay.
let's go. I'm gonna bother Aliana first because Jessica's too confident in this. I'm gonna have to think of harder questions for her. Aliana, you looked great on your spin, and we're very happy you're here. As you know, if you win, you have an opportunity to influence a lot of young folks' lives and continue your education. What would you do specifically with the education continuance to help others?
Like I said, I would work with the woman that came. I wish I could remember her name, but I would work with her because she's opening kind of a foundation and she's allowing people to come and help. And she actually had joked because she brought up an idea of she had said, what'd she say? She was like, oh, to introduce it, we'll bring like coloring pages and stuff of the sort. And I told her, I was like, I respect your idea. I think it's great, but I do not think that coloring is the way to go because I volunteer my time at a library. So I'm with kids all the time. And I have noticed things, and kids don't like to color anymore. They don't. Okay. They don't like to sit down and color. They want to be in the action. They want to do what the adults are doing. They want to pick up the scissors too, you know? And so I had told her that, and she had made a joke. She said, oh, well, when I start, I'm going to call you in and you're going to help me. And I had laughed, and she was like, oh, no, I'm serious. And I was like, oh, I'm laughing, but I'm serious too, because I'm ready, you know? And so I would start there. I would definitely go in and help her and give her some of my ideas that I have seen myself.
Awesome. And do you feel, I just want to ask, do you feel like kids don't like to color anymore because there's better toys, better technology? Do you feel like it's just kind of an evolution or?
I think they want to be more involved. I don't think coloring is involved enough anymore. They want to see it too. They want to pick it up with their hands. They don't want to color anymore. They want to do it. And I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for like Votech stuff.
Right.
All right, Jessica, you've been in many pageants before.
Mhm.
You definitely have a focus for your future and what you're trying to do. Why do you feel like we should award you versus these other ladies? Why are your ideas better? I'm just gonna hit you with a hard one. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Now I feel
I
like a
like it.
jerk.
I like it. As I said, I do have my platform already figured out. I can represent TAF in the Miss Mexico Institute well. I have a plan. Either way, I will be doing it. It'll either be I'm just doing it or I am doing it to represent TAF and Miss Mexico.
I love that. That's great. So you're doing it anyway, and
Mhm.
uh, that plan clearly is to help children and to build with them. What would you do first if you were to win?
Well, first, I'm just going to get into the schools because it's in the schools that need it. Parents are that don't may not know special education laws are being taken advantage of every day. I saw it when I worked in schools, and the schools are struggling, obviously, but that doesn't mean we can just throw our kids aside that might need the extra help. And so just getting into the schools, contacting parents and working with parents is step number one.
I agree. That's awesome. That's great. And Aliana, what this is all about, continuing education and helping children. What gives you a heart for kids? Why kids? Right? Of all the things you can do, clearly you're a bright, talented young lady. Why kids?
Well, first it was geriatrics. Okay, so I was adopted by elderly, but they're senior citizens. I was adopted. They were 55 years old when they adopted me. They were older, and now they're in their late 60s. And so at first I was like, I had a heart for geriatrics. I love taking care of my parents. They took care of me the best they could, and I totally, I appreciate them so much, and I give that back. I do, and I work at a nursing home, so I do love geriatrics. But then I was raised as an only child, so I was never the only time I was around children was at school, and I loved it. Like I loved being with the kids, and even as I grew older, I just loved playing with the younger kids. And so when I started volunteering at the library, I realized that this is what I wanted to do. I was with kids constantly all the time, and I just loved it. They were great, and they kind of give you like a simple view of everything. Like when you're stressed out about something, they'll just give you like a simple answer, and you're like, well, thank you. And so, yeah, I think that's where my passion is with children.
I love that, and I love geriatrics too. I love hanging out with old folks because they just don't care.
Yeah.
And there's so many things you worry about in life, and they're like, "What? Wait, you're in 10 years, you're going to feel stupid worried about that." In the same way that I'm sure we all can look back and in 10 years ago and see things we stressed about, and now be like, I would laugh that off. I would, I would not trip over that. It doesn't have a lot to do with me, really, at the end of the day. And Jessica, same question. Clearly, you have a heart for children.
Mm-hmm.
You've designed your life around helping children.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with, and I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. Not ever going to get rich. No matter how far you go, no matter how many hours you put in, no matter how many children you help, you will never make $1 billion doing it. It's just not set up that way. You have to love it, and you have to love the people you're working with. So, Jessica, why kids?
So, and for me specifically, special needs, children with disabilities. I it's so funny when I look back at it. My freshman year of high school, my friend Claire, she was needing volunteer hours for National Honor Society, I think, and she was like, "Come hang out in the special education room with me." And I went to class in SAS, and I was like, "Oh, okay, why not? I'll get out of class, whatever." And then I started hanging out in there, and I'm like, wow, I like this. Wow, why don't we see these kids around the school more often? Why are they really just in one room all day? Why do they have their own separate segregated table at lunch every day? Like, what is this? And so I knew then, I was like, okay, I'm going to go into special education, I guess. And I started working at an elementary school in a special education classroom when I was like 20, I believe. And again, I loved everything about it. I loved my kids. I loved advocating for them. I'm in my heart, I am an advocate. I will fight for you. And although I loved it, I again just saw how different they were treated. And so I was in an intellectually disabled classroom, so their IQ had to be below a certain point to legally be in that classroom. I was getting kids who just had behaviors and were not intellectually disabled. Their IQ was higher. That's illegal. And I'm like, okay, this is not okay. Why are we doing this? And so I really was like, I need to make change. And you're right. I'm never going to make $1 million doing this. I'm never going to get rich doing this. I might not even change the whole world doing this, but even if I just change one kid's life, that I changed their world. I might not have changed the whole world, but I changed their world, and that means something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I wanted to ask you something. I don't know how to ask the question, right? So I'll just tell you what I'm thinking, and maybe you guys can help me out here. I know someone very close to someone, and she's a grade school teacher, and we talk about just the difference in every kid, and they're so
Mhm.
different with different needs, whether they be ADHD or full on special needs, or just absent parents in the home, or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, and it was just interesting. Okay, so quick background: I grew up Midwest city, never met my father, no brothers or sisters, only child as well. Just me and my mama in a one-bedroom apartment for till I was like 10 years old, and then we moved to nicer apartments, and I was like, "Whoa, a two-bedroom." Then we moved to a trailer, and I thought we hit the big time. I was like, "A little yard to play in? Are you
Yeah.
kidding? You mean I don't have to go upstairs to go to my house? What?"
And trailers can be nice. I lived in trailers growing up. They can be nice.
Hey man, no shame in the game. You got a roof over your head and you're doing
Uh-huh.
good. I am not, I'm happy for you. Because Lord knows it's not any easier and it's not getting any
Mhm.
easier. So a blessing for that. But we've been blessed enough to move up and move on. But she was sharing about there's a kid in her school. His name is Mike too, but no father, only child. And she was talking about, he's hard to deal with and he's late to our
Mhm.
school. Uh, and she's like, I was talking to him and, he was in ISS in his other school. And I asked him why. And she said, well, because he punched a kid. And she was like, well, why did you punch the kid? It's like, because he was bullying me. And she's like, well, why didn't you tell the teacher? And the kid said, well, I told the teacher, but she doesn't really like me, said I talk too much. So
Mhm.
I had to take care of it myself. And she's like, so he's a bad kid. I'm like, no, that's how I was. And I didn't
Mhm.
realize that I would have been a bad kid, but it's because you don't have time. And I was like, so he's just fending for himself. He's got no
Mhm.
father. He's got no other kids in his life that he goes and plays with outside of this school. His mom doesn't seem all that involved in his life. So at
Mhm.
the end of the day, he's just trying to figure he's raising himself in a way. So, and I was like, so he's just in, she's like, yeah, but the whole system falls apart if these kids realize that they can do what they want ultimately.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which I
So,
thought was funny. And, I was trying to help. I was like, understand this kid isn't trying to be a bad kid. He's just trying to
mhm.
make his own way with his little grade school mind without, any life experience or any adult that he really trusts to help him out. And so you have to treat that kid so different than a
Yep.
kid whose main job it is to make straight A's. Or even a
Mhm.
kid whose main job it is to disrupt class to get attention because he's not trying to do that.
Mhm.
So I guess my question to you is, how do you approach different kids in different ways? Like, what is your goal there? How do you feel like you're
Mhm.
personally effective in reaching these kids individually and specifically?
At the end of the day, all behavior is a form of communication, whether it's probable behavior or the behavior that we like. It's a form of communication. A child cannot learn if their basic needs are not met. Unfortunately, we are living in a society where so many kids, their basic needs aren't met. Basic needs as in safety, food, water, sleep.
Don't even get me started. I will go this whole podcast will me
And
just turning red, screaming, how are we not feeding our children when we're
mhm,
throwing away so much food? Like we should never.
yes. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go
And
ahead.
if those basic needs are not met, and love, don't even, like love is also a basic need. They need to be loved and have attention. We cannot truly teach them until those needs are met. And I know I've been saying you like, oh, there's so many issues in public schools. Let me say 9 times out of 10 it's not the teachers. It's the system,
Agreed.
especially here in Oklahoma. The system is broken. And
Well, are you saying Ryan Walters isn't good? You know what I mean? Come on. Biggest.
yeah.
We're not gonna go. This is.
Hey.
We're gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, this system is so broken, and it puts a lot of pressure on teachers to do everything. Because yes, each and every child needs different forms of support. How can we expect a teacher with 20 kids in their classroom to make sure all of those kids are fed, to make sure all of those kids are safe, to make sure all of those kids are loved and have individual attention? We can't until we fix the system. Like that, at the end of the day, that's it. The whole entire system is broken.
Right. And so, uh, would you say you guys are almost kind of playing triage at this point? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's a triage situation where you're
Yes.
just doing the best you can with the biggest problems you're dealing with and trying
Yes.
to give the good kids as much help as possible while, you know what I
Hmm.
mean, trying to bandage
So
the bleeding issues. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
when I was in special education, and so I've been in special education in public schools. I've been in ABA, which is applied behavior analysis, which is a therapy for children with autism, and I've now been in a hospital. In special education in public schools, especially in special education, there are kids who have severe behaviors. I had kids cut my hair. I had kids break every single iPad in the entire iPad tower. I mean, and you are just doing everything you can to keep those kids from hurting themselves, others, or you. That the kids who don't have those severe behaviors, you're like, I'm so sorry. I can't do anything with you right now. Like you're like you're quiet, so I just have to focus on keeping everyone in the room safe. And it is so hard.
I'm sure. And Aliana, to kind of speak to that, you've seen keeping these kids busy, keeping their hands and their mind working
Mhm.
is very effective in managing behavior, right?
Sure.
And could you go into that a little bit and some of the tricks you've seen that help these kids either feel seen or feel like they're, because I find if kids, and correct me if I'm wrong, because y'all are the pros here, but I find if kids feel like they have a goal, a
Hmm.
purpose, even on the short term, that they're much easier to manage because they're not acting up because they're trying to accomplish the goal you've given them.
Hmm.
So, Aliana, tell us a little bit about how you've seen that work in kind of a VOTEC setting, if you will, and in the library.
Yes. Well, I have never tech setting experience yet, but in the library setting, it's completely different from a school setting because there's three of us. There's three employees there. So it's me and two other employees, and we only have maximum 25 kids that come, which is honestly still a lot for a small town. 25 kids is a lot. I don't even see that in like a school classroom, you know?
Let me
And so,
just say, for people who don't deal with kids much, as we know here, I have some friends involved and go volunteer, at like the fall festivals or whatever. I'm telling you, the joke is with grade school kids, it's death by 1,000 chihuahuas. Okay, it's
Hmm.
like not any one kid is all that scary, but when there's
Yeah.
like 25 or 30 little kids all coming at you, yip, 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 and they all have their own, you're like, but if you freak out, they're like, why are you freaking out? And you're like, I can't freak out, but oh my gosh, it's death by 1,000 chihuahuas. So,
yes,
uh,
sure.
but anyway, so 25 is still plenty,
Yeah,
and especially in a looser environment than school, right? Where they feel like their hair's a little down, they can get away with a little bit more.
yes, for sure. They know they can get away with more. They know it's not, they don't take it as serious. For them, it's more fun. Library is supposed to be like our library setting is more fun. It is not like a school. It's not as strict. It's just supposed to be fun. The kids come over summer and they want to read a book. Yes, come read a book. Yes, come learn STEM. We have STEM programs. And so it's completely different. It's more free and open. The kids are more expressive and they communicate more. And honestly, there's not a lot of behavioral problems because they choose to be there. This is what
Oh,
they.
wow.
Yes. And some of them, their parents do bring them, but they already have that basis at home of what
Hmm.
to learn. And it's different. So I can't relate to Jessica as much because all the kids that I have, like they want to be there
Hmm.
and they want to learn. And for our way of communicating with all of them and handling the 25 in a bunch is that there's three of us. So each of us only have 7, 8 kids. And that's pretty easy because they all talk amongst themselves. They all enjoy talking to each other. And then you butt in and you're like, oh, well, how was your weekend? And they all want to talk. They all want to talk. And it's more of a joyous setting and it's completely different, really. But and it's
Hmm.
I'm listening.
yeah,
We're
it's
listening.
oh, okay. It's just easier overall because the setting is completely different.
Absolutely. And what's funny is I would think naturally they might be a little, less well behaved
Mhm.
because you know what I mean? Like, it's summer, it's kid, we're at the library, it's fun playtime. But the fact that you say they're better and more well behaved, I think that also speaks to your ability to manage the kids. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because uh, you see it, if people don't have a love for the kids and they're in this business
Mhm.
and industry, you know what I mean? The kids are usually hard to manage and they're less well behaved. And
Mhm.
most of the time, you show me someone who hates their children, I'll show you a class where kids aren't learning much, right?
Mhm. I don't
So
understand why you would work with kids if you didn't like working with kids. Like you said, there's not much money in it.
I would think you start out, right? It's one of those things where you start out liking kids, and then by
Yeah.
like the 10th year, it's like,
Mhm.
I don't. But anyway,
Rush.
I've
joke in there.
also heard people say like the education like getting their teacher certificate in college is like the easy route because it's
Mhm.
not like engineering and stuff. I'm like, it may be easier classes, but it ain't gonna be easier when you get into it.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. I mean, at least when you go to your like masters and your programs like that PhD level, it is extremely difficult. I mean, they from what I know about like English lit and business,
Mhm.
it's a lot of the teachers have just because they want you to write so much. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, write a 10-page paper on a thing and then give me 20 pages of resources and
Mhm.
citing your sources. And you're just like, oh my gosh. So it is to get that degree is a lot. And one of the ways I'll just speak on this. One of the ways I feel like our system is broken is, of course, teachers need to get paid more. But to
Mhm.
require you to go into such deep debt to be able to teach, and then not on the other side come out with a way to help you cover the expense
Yeah.
to be qualified to do the job. But first of all, that's why I'm so happy we have TAF, because
Mhm.
it's needed. And we have ladies like you with the heart you ladies have. We genuinely appreciate that. And so it's coming up. Tell us, when is the TAF thing? What are you doing right now? How are you preparing? How are you getting ready to win? How are you getting ready to win?
Yeah.
Okay,
Aliana first.
Oh,
Just because
okay,
Jessica,
yes.
she's gone first, we're going to switch it up for a second, if that's okay.
Of course.
Well, the pageant is November 15th. And so far preparing, we're getting our dances all put together, choreographed, which has kind of been a struggle, but it is fun. It's fun.
Can I be your backup dancer?
Try. It's hard to keep up. I'm not gonna lie.
No, thank you.
And so we're just preparing with our dances and our entering and closing and dresses. Dress. Each of us are representing like a country or a state, and so me personally, I am Guatemalan. There's my flag back there.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Guatemalan and Puerto Rican and African American. So I'm very mixed. And so I was raised by my adopted parents are Guatemalan. So I kind of lean towards my Guatemalan side more. And so I'm on the search for a Guatemalan traditional dress so I can show off my culture, show off my roots, because I understand that people wouldn't initially think that I am mixed with Guatemalan. And I speak Spanish. It's my first language. So when I speak Spanish, they're like, oh my gosh, you're bilingual, you speak Spanish. How'd you learn Spanish? Well, it's my first language. And so I just really want to show that off in this pageant the most, because it's not something people realize and know about me. And I want them to know about it because I'm proud.
Absolutely. And it's so important. Something we as Americans do is go, oh, South America, and then just lump it in. Or I know people that still think Africa is a country and not a continent with multiple countries, right?
Mhm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
Mexican. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Isn't Guatemala like a city in Mexico? No, it's its own independent nation with its own president. And they vote. There, you know what I mean? It's a democratic nation that we honestly should be helping, I think, a little more, but it's a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, I love that idea. And I think that's great. We need places like Guatemala represented. I've known some wonderful Guatemalan folks. And in Oklahoma, I think it's really cool. You guys have teamed up with the, I think you guys have, think it's really cool. You've teamed up with the Miss Mexico folks there because that at least opens up the door. You know what I mean? To the multiple culture experience. Because I'll tell you, there's not a grade school teacher or a high school teacher in Oklahoma that will tell you that, oh yeah, it's all linear, it's all white folk or it's all black folk. You know what I mean? It's Latino, and it's not just Mexican, and it's Asian, and it's, you know what I mean? You name it. And that is one thing I tell folks. I work with a lot of people in other states, and a lot of other states are very homogenous in that you've got this neighborhood and this is where these
Hmm.
folks are. And you've got this neighborhood, and I mean all the way down to like this is Greek and this is the Italian neighborhood. I mean it gets that homogenized with it. Whereas in
Yeah.
Oklahoma, it's like, see, we didn't grow up like that. Like literally, I grew up with black folks, white folks, Asian folks, and Latino folks all in the same class. We went to the same church. We went to the same restaurant. We went to the same school. We're a very much more mixed community here, and I think it's important. And I love the fact that, not only has Kareem provided, but you guys are taking it seriously, running with the ball
Hmm.
and representing. And Jessica, tell me, who are you representing? I'm excited to know. I didn't even realize y'all are doing that. This is cool.
Yeah, so my cultural wear I will actually be representing Guanajuato, Mexico. That is
Nice.
the state that my fiance's family is from. That is my future children's culture. And while it is not the culture I was born into, it is the culture that I'm marrying into. And I respect it so much, and I am honored to be representing Guanajuato.
That's very cool. And is that North Mexico, South Mexico?
I believe Central
About
Mexico.
Central.
I
Yeah, yeah,
could be
yeah.
wrong though. Double check that.
I can fact check that right now.
Yes.
And so are you going to be wearing like traditional dresses from there, or
Mhm.
how are you specifically representing it?
So we have a few people that we were able, for the Mexican traditional wear specifically, that we were able to contact that have different outfits from each state.
Mhm.
And so we just kind of connected with them, and we are renting I'm personally am renting my costume from them. And then we will also, each girl will make a PowerPoint presentation-ish, or like a voiceover about their cultural wear and why they are representing it, what it means to them, a little bit of history about wherever they are representing. And so it's very beautiful.
Heck yeah. And that is Guantanamo, Mexico?
Guanajuatos, yeah.
Guanavatos. All right. I'm trying to pull it up.
Sorry, Guanajuato. Sorry.
All right.
Guanjoto, I believe. I don't know if I spelled that right.
You know what? That's all good. I'll have my people look it up. Okay. No worries. I'll have my producer look into that. So we don't just like drop this show for a second.
Yeah.
All right. And as we're coming up here, guys, on the end, I definitely wanted to give you the floor, give you some time. I see Mr. Kareem is back. If you'd like to say anything, sir, of course, you have the mic, you have the floor. Whatever you'd like to share with anyone. And definitely, both of you ladies, I want to give you a little time as well to just share with the people what you want them to know, and we can clip it. And you can send it out. We can send it out, and it can be, what you really want to kind of represent, for you.
Definitely. I thank you. The pageant is November 15th. You can hop on all our social media platforms. It gives the intricate details of how you can purchase the tickets. These young ladies, have put in a lot of work. So we need butts in the seats. I say that emphatically. We need butts in the seats. All right. So we can't do this without the support of the people. Brother Mike, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. I know this is streamed all over the world, and people all over the world is going to be looking at this. And if you can't be there in person, just donate. TAF is also a nonprofit organization. I've been running a nonprofit for 12 years now. So I know all the ins and outs and all the goods and the bads and the politics and the non-politics, all that comes with it. But nonetheless, it doesn't negate the fact that we cannot do this without the support of the people. So get your tickets, get your tickets, get your tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Get your tickets, folks. That's what we're talking about. I mean, let's go. Let's see here. I want to make sure that's pulled up. Okay, yeah. So what we have here is all the information you need. And we're going to get, deeper into that. And we'll throw over to Jessica. Jessica, what do you want the people to know? How can they follow you? How can they support you? If they want to see you win, what can they do to do that?
Well, first of all, like Kareem said, buy your tickets, show up. It is going to be a really, really good show. Not just the contestants, but there will also be performers there as well. We are also selling raffle tickets for a Honda Civic. So if you're interested in buying
Whoa.
tickets, I know it's one ticket for $50 or four for 100. You can follow the TAF Teen Pageant or Miss Mexico Institute on Facebook to get more information on that. And we are also selling ads for the business magazine that they will be doing. It is really, really good prices for advertisements. 25 for a quarter page, 50 for a half page, or 100 for a full page for the full 12 months for the digital magazine. So it is one, a really good deal. Two, it's a tax write-off. And three, proceeds go to the scholarship fund for the contestants. So it's also a really good cause. So look into it.
I'm sorry, Aliana, look behind you. I think there's a ninja sneaking around your house right now. So be careful. But Jessica, let's rewind. Wait. So, because what I think I just heard is some amazing ad rates in a very supportive group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hit me with those numbers and what we can do one more time? Because I think I might do that. Like one more time.
Yeah, for sure.
What are those numbers again? And you get for the whole. What is that again?
It is a business magazine, kind of like the Yellow Pages that they are putting together, and it'll be 12 months. And again, 25 for a quarter page. That's $25 for 12 months of advertising. That's really good. $50 for a half page or 100 for a full page.
So for $100, you get a full page ad. And how long does that page run?
12 months, correct?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
That's too cheap, y'all. Y'all need to call me next time you start selling stuff. Because I can't, that's
there's
too
still
cheap.
Time. Get it in.
Time.
Yeah, but like it's $100, but like I'm gonna need like at least a Burger King double Whopper meal. You know what I mean? Something. Because like, you can't just charge me that little. Wow, that's crazy. Absolutely. Aliana, what do you want the people to know? And be careful of that ninja, by the way. So
Yes, I just want them to be aware that tickets will not be sold at the door. So it is important to purchase them online, purchase them soon because hopefully they run out, we want it to be full. Like Jessica said, the ads and the car, everything. It is very important. And I think that everyone should purchase and just help everyone out because it is for a bigger cause.
And something that I want all small business owners to know that might be thinking about advertising in this, you know who I'm talking to. Y'all know me, and look, all my small business owners that listen to this, these are supportive folks, okay? This is the kind of thing that when you advertise in here, people are looking for your business. They'd rather do business with you because of your support, right? Than just some random person off the street or a major corporation. So if you're looking to get a leg up for an offensive price, it makes me mad. You know what I mean? I sell stuff for a living. It makes me mad. Y'all are so cheap with it. But it is a blessing, and thank you. And if you're a small business looking for a way to get out there to a supportive group of folks, I mean, my gosh, you can spend $100 on Facebook. You get ads for 2 days, and it means nothing. This is a full page for a year with a group of folks that want to give you money to do business with you.
A local pageant. So for local businesses, this is a great way to get your name out into Oklahoma.
For sure. Absolutely. And then, Aliana, how do they find you? If people are fans of yours and they want to follow you and find you, how do they do that?
Well, I have Instagram. I'm not on Facebook, but I have Instagram. It's _ Aliana Maria, ALIANA Maria. Aliana Maria.
I love it. And Jessica, how do they find you?
I'm really only on Facebook, Jessica Pirtle. That's really all I'm on. But, message me if you have any questions about the car raffle or the ads, and I can get you more information.
Absolutely. And guys, we just want to let you know, this is the educator's crown. It is TAF. It is important. Of all the things you're going to support, this is one of the most important because supporting these ladies literally means supporting the children in your community. And that's the most important part. And that's what I love about what Kareem does and his vision for this is most people anymore don't think 15 minutes ahead. You know what I mean? It's what do I got to do now? What do I got to do in an hour? And Kareem goes, if I build something that is healthy and awesome and fun and invest into these young ladies, I have something that these young ladies are investors themselves, are advocates, as Jessica said, and we're going to invest in your children. Because guess what I don't want when I'm 60 years old? A bunch of uneducated kids unable to make a living that no one ever cared for running around my streets. I want kids who, young ladies like you, helped them have skills, have understanding, have personal value and care for themselves. That's what we want. But we have to invest in you ladies to have those kids like that. It's the kind of thing that, Kareem is like, people don't understand what an executive producer does in the first place, but Kareem is a core executive producer, and you understand why those folks are so important when you start to get into what he does. That's all I can't say it any more clear like that. So as we roll out, guys, I want to thank you so much. Young ladies, I want to thank you so much. Everybody, once again, remember, this is the Educator's Crown, Saturday, November 15th. You cannot get tickets at the door. You got to get them by clicking the link. And in fact, I'm going to show the whole thing here so people can hit that code right there. There's the QR code right there. So basically, tickets will not be sold at the door. You got to purchase them through the link or at the number below, and that number is 580-799-7818. Once again, 580-799-7818. It's only $25 general entry, basically the price of a movie, but you're literally helping out your community, and you're going to get way more. You can win a car. $50 VIP entry, and you're going to get hors d'oeuvres and a drink. Yeah, I said hors d'oeuvres. I pronounced it right, y'all. You know what I mean? Good teaching. So you're going to get hors d'oeuvres, and it's just going to be an amazing night. And once again, if you're a small business, support. If you're just a family, support. Because what Kareem and these ladies and everybody involved is doing now means literally a better future for us next year, 5 and 10 years down the road. If it weren't for this, I wouldn't have much hope, quite honestly. Because, I mean, I appreciate $6 million for Trump Bibles, but that ain't fixing anything that we got that we need to fix, I guess. I mean, also, not for nothing, but I'm going to say this, we'll get out of here. This is the buckle of the Bible Belt. You understand? You could just come out and say, hey, we need Bibles for classrooms, y'all. And there wouldn't be a classroom in this state without 10 Bibles in it. You know what? I got 2 spare ones right here. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's feed the kids, make sure they have AC and heat and carpet in their classrooms, as well as you wonderful folks. Thank you so much for coming on. Oh, y'all are awesome. And make sure you follow, make sure you get your tickets to TAF. In fact, we're gonna do a thing I've decided just now. I'm gonna get a couple tickets and we'll do a giveaway. And we're gonna do that. I've just decided. So Kareem, I'm gonna get with you after this, and we're gonna connect. I'll make a square so I have 2 tickets to give away. Cool?
Cool beans.
All right, we're doing that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Ptpod. You know the Ptpod. Rumble, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, 8 p.m. Central every single night of the week. And then we have our bonus stuff like the Power Slap watch party we just did Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We mean it. And we are out.
Oh boy!